A man in a $3,000 clothing walks into Adjudicator Caprio's attorneys like he owns the place. Six-figure watch, artist briefcase, the aspect of addition who's acclimated to actuality, the best important actuality in every allowance he enters. His name is Marcus Wellington, and he's the arch-controlling administrator of a aloft tech aggregation in Providence. Annual salary, $2.4 million, aggregation appraisal over $1 billion. He's actuality for a accepted cartage violation, adventuresome driving, and boundless speed. He expects this to booty 5 minutes, pay a fine, maybe get it reduced, and get back to active his empire. Afterwards he's Marcus Wellington. Rules are for added people. But as Adjudicator Frank Caprio begins reviewing the affairs of the violation, an accelerated hunt through a residential neighborhood about hitting pedestrians, advancing behavior against police. Marcus does article that stuns the complete courtroom. He gives Adjudicator Caprio the boilerplate feel appropriate there in accessible cloister on camera with complete arrogance. What happens abutting isn't aloof about a cartage abuse anymore. It's about a CEO who thinks his abundance makes him untouchable. Acquirements that some ascendancy can't be bought. Some boldness won't be tolerated. And some after effects are absolute and devastating. Hit subscribe appropriate now because 97% of admirers haven't subscribed to Adjudicator Stories, and this case proves why heirs has the amount and why one activity can abort a multi-million-dollar career in seconds. By the end of this video, you'll watch a CEO's ascendancy crumble, a company's laugh of Admiral Booty emergency action, and Adjudicator Caprio bear one of the harshest rulings in his courtroom's history. Here's the question. What happens? A back addition, who's never faced complete after effects, assuredly meets accountability. Marcus Wellington is about to acquisition out. Wednesday morning, 9:45 a.m., Providence Municipal Court. The BIF calls Marcus Wellington. Adventuresome driving, boundless speed, abortion to obey badge commands. A man in his aboriginal 40s enters the attorneys with the aplomb of addition who's never been told no. His clothing is immaculate, acutely custom-made, apparently Italian. His shoes flash like mirrors. Aggregate about him screams abundance and power. He doesn't airing to the podium. He strides like he's entering a boardroom breath he's about to blaze someone. Adjudicator Caprio looks up with his appropriate courtesy. "Good morning, Mr. Wellington." Marcus about glances at him. "Morning." "No, Your Honor." "No respect." Aloof a dismissive acknowledgement. Adjudicator Caprio's announcement flickers slightly. He's noticed the disrespect, but chooses to advance professionally. "Mr. Wellington, you're cited for adventuresome active on Benefit Street, traveling 68 mapikers in a 25 Vibwe Patri map residential zone. Can you acquaint me what happened?" Marcus' ad measurement like this is a decay of his admired time. "I was backward for a lath meeting. The artery was clear. Nobody was in danger. The badge abode indicates there were pedestrians present, and you came oral anxiety of hitting them. The badge abode exaggerates. Bodies weren't advantageous attention. I had ascendancy of my vehicle." Adjudicator Caprio reviews the book added carefully. "Mr. Wellington, it says actuality that a back badge attempted to call you over. You didn't stop immediately. You connected active for several blocks. Why?" Marcus's acknowledgement is casual, about bored. "I was aggravating to acquisition a acceptable abode to stop. I wasn't activity to cull over in the boilerplate of traffic. You collection for 6 blocks afore stopping. Like I said, I was attractive for a acceptable spot." Adjudicator Caprio's accent becomes added pointed. "Mr. Wellington, the officer's abode states that aback he approached your vehicle. You were on your phone, a business call, and you told him to delay until you finished. I was in the boilerplate of an important negotiation. The administrator could delay 2 minutes. The attorney's murmurs, 'This akin of alms is shocking, alike for Carthage Court.' Adjudicator Caprio continues, 'The administrator additionally letters that you banned to accommodate your authorization initially, advertence you, and I quote, Don't accept time for this nonsense. Is that accurate? Marcus shrugs. I was frustrated. It was a decay of my time. A decay of your time to exceed with a allowable cartage stop? Your Honor, do you apperceive who I am? There it is. The catechism that consistently precedes disaster. Adjudicator Caprio's acknowledgement is measured. I apperceive your Marcus Wellington and your adverse austere cartage violations. Beyond that, I don't see how your appearance is relevant. Marcus's smile is condescending. I'm the CEO of TechVanguard Systems. We administer 400 bodies in Providence. We accord millions to the bounded economy. I anticipate my position is absolute relevant. Mr. Wellington, in this courtroom, your position as CEO is as accordant as anyone else's job, which is to say, not at all, where actuality to abode your violations. Marcus's announcement hardens. He's not acclimated to actuality announced to this way. Subscribe to Adjudicator Stories if you accept abundance doesn't abode you aloft the law. Adjudicator Caprio pulls up Burcam footage from the badge vehicle. Mr. Wellington, let's analysis the video of the cartage stop. The footage plays on attorney's monitors. It shows Marcus's affluence sedan, a Mercedes S-Class, dispatched through a residential neighborhood. Kids' arena on sidewalks. A woman walking a dog who has to jump aback as Marcus zooms past. Back badge lights activate. Marcus doesn't apathetic down. He continues for 6 blocks, eventually affairs over in advance of his appointment building. The administrator approaches. Marcus is acutely on his phone. The administrator waits. Marcus gestures dismissively. Accumulate waiting. Finally, afterwards, about 2 minutes, Marcus hangs up and rolls bottomward his window partway. Officer, authorization and registration, please. Marcus, do you apperceive how abundant that alarm was worth? Apparently added than you accomplish in a year. The attorney's watches in disbelief. This is absolutely recorded. Officer, sir, I charge your authorization and registration. Marcus, fine. Here. He throws his authorization at the administrator rather than handing it to him. Adjudicator Caprio pauses the video. Mr. Wellington, you threw your authorization at a badge officer. I handed it to him. The video acutely shows you throwing it. That's your interpretation. Adjudicator Caprio resumes the video. The administrator is active Marcus information. Back he returns, he begins acknowledgement the violations. Officer, Mr. Wellington, I'm citation you for adventuresome driving, boundless speed. Marcus interrupts. How abundant is the fine? I'll pay it appropriate now, and we can both get on with our lives. Officer, sir, this isn't a loofah fine. Adventuresome active at those speeds in a residential breadth can after effect in authorization suspension. Marcus, I'm not accident my license. That's not happening. Officer, sir, that's for the cloister to decide. Marcus, do you apperceive who I am? Do you accept what I do? I can't action afterwards a license. I accept affairs beyond the state, beyond the country. Officer, sir, you about hit assorted pedestrians activity about 70 in a 25. Marcus, about doesn't count. The video ends. The attorneys is silent, arresting what they aloof witnessed. Adjudicator Caprio speaks carefully. Mr. Wellington, I appetite to accomplish abiding, I accept your position. You accept that because you're a CEO, because you're wealthy, because you administer people, you should be absolved from after effects for alarming driving. I accept ambience matters, Your Honor. I'm not some adventuresome teenager. I'm able with responsibilities, and those responsibilities absolve endangering pedestrians. Nobody was absolutely endangered. That's affecting exaggeration. Adjudicator Caprio's backbone is visibly cutting thin. Mr. Wellington, I've been on this bank for decades. I've apparent bags of cases, and I accept to acquaint you. Your attitude is one of the best adverse I've encountered. Marcus's acknowledgement is abominable in its casualness. Your Honor, with all due respect, I anticipate your actuality ever sensitive. This is the accessory cartage abuse actuality, complete out of proportion. Minor. You collection about 70 in a residential zone. The artery was about empty. There were accouchement present who were boilerplate abreast my agent because they jumped out of the way. Marcus absolutely laughs. Your Honor, you're accurate this complete, like I was aggravating to hit people. I'm an accomplished driver. I had complete control. If you had complete control, why were you activity about 3 times the acceleration limit? Because I'm assured in my abilities. Adjudicator Caprio takes an abysmal breath, acutely alive to advance his composure. Mr. Wellington, let me ask you something. Do you anticipate the rules administered to you? Marcus pauses. Afresh delivers an acknowledgement that seals his fate. Your Honor, I anticipate the rules were accounting for boilerplate bodies in boilerplate situations. I'm not average. I accomplish burning decisions account millions of dollars. I assurance my judgment. So, that's a no. You don't anticipate cartage laws administered to you? I anticipate they should be activated with acumen based on whose actuality cited in the circumstances. Adjudicator Caprio has acutely had enough. His articulation becomes stern, authoritative. Mr. Wellington, here's what's activity to happen. Your adverse adventuresome active accuse that backpack binding authorization suspension. Given your attitude, your complete abridgment of remorse, and your approved acceptance that you're aloft the law, I'm absorbed to appoint the best penalty. Marcus's bluff of calm cracks. You can't append my license. I already told you I'd charge it for my job. You should accept anticipation about that, a for you collection foolishly through a neighborhood. This is ridiculous. How abundant is the fine? I'll pay bifold appropriate now to end this. This isn't about money, Mr. Wellington. This is about accessible assurance and accountability. Marcus's articulation rises. I'm actuality targeted because I'm successful. This is chic warfare bearded as justice. No, Mr. Wellington, your actuality captivated answerable because you bankrupt the law and endangered lives. I appetite to allege to your supervisor. The attorney's absolutely gasps. Addition aloof asked to allege to a judge's supervisor. Adjudicator Caprio's acknowledgement is ice-cold. I don't accept a supervisor, Mr. Wellington. This is my courtroom. Marcus's face reens with anger. This is your ability cruise because some working-class guy in a bathrobe assuredly gets to acquaint a acknowledged actuality what to do. Mr. Wellington, I'm admonishing you to ascendancy your accent and attitude. Or what? You'll ascendancy me in contempt? Go ahead. My attorneys will accept it chaotic afore lunch. Adjudicator Caprio stands, which anon silences the courtroom. Mr. Wellington, you charge to accept something. Your abundance agency annihilation here. Your position agency annihilation here. Your attorney's beggarly annihilation here. What affairs is that you collection recklessly, endangered lives, showed no remorse, and now you're assuming antipathy for this court. And that's a back Marcus does it. He looks anon at Adjudicator Caprio and raises his boilerplate finger. Aloof holds it there, staring at the adjudicator with a beam on his face. The attorneys erupts, gasps, abashed exclamations, bodies continuing up in disbelief. Adjudicator Caprio's face transforms from ascetic to furious. His articulation cuts through the anarchy like thunder. Mr. Wellington, did you aloof accomplish an atrocious activity at me? Marcus abundantly doubles down. Yeah, I did. What are you activity to do about it? What am I activity to do? I'm activity to appearance, you absolutely. What happens? Aback you? Boldness, this court. Don't balloon to subscribe to adjudicator stories for the moment. Aback airs meets complete destruction. Adjudicator Caprio doesn't sit aback down. He stands at the bank, beaming controlled fury. Mr. Wellington, you came into this attorney's assertive your abundance and position fabricated you special. You've approved antipathy not aloof for this court, but for accessible safety, for law enforcement, and for every added aborigine who manages to chase basal cartage laws, admitting additionally accepting jobs and responsibilities. Your Honor, I'm not finished. You collection at alarming speeds through a residential area. You abandoned badge commands. You showed aught remorse. You attempted to allurement your way out of consequences. You angered this cloister, and afresh you fabricated an atrocious activity anon at me. Marcus tries to achieve control. Your Honor, I apologize for the gesture. I was frustrated. Your acknowledgement is meaningless. You're not apologetic for what you did. You're apologetic, your adverse consequences. Adjudicator Caprio begins arising rulings accelerated fire. First, for adventuresome active at about 70 metatrons in a residential zone, I'm Artie, the best accomplished of $2,500. Marcus about reacts. That's a bridged change to him. Second, for abortion to exceed with badge commands, an added $1,000 fine. Still nothing. He can allow this easily. Third, for antipathy of cloister due to your atrocious gesture, I'm Artie and added $5,000 fine, $8,500 total. Marcus looks annoyed but not concerned. Adjudicator Caprio isn't done. Fourth, your driver's authorization is abeyant for 6 months, able immediately. Surrender it to the bay if appropriate now. Now, Marcus reacts. 6 months? Your Honor, that's excessive. I'm not finished. Fifth, you're ordered to complete 50 hours of affiliation service. You'll be alive with a adolescent's cartage assurance affairs teaching teenagers about the dangers of adventuresome driving. Your Honor, I don't accept time. You'll accomplish time. Sixth, binding cartage assurance course. 8 weeks every Saturday morning. Miss one affair and your abeyance extends to 1 year. Marcus is anemic now. Acumen, this is serious. Seventh, the Burcam footage of your cartage stop and this attorney's proceeding will be forwarded to the Providence Badge Department's accessible assurance analysis as an archetype of alarming, active and antipathy of authority. Adjudicator Caprio's abutting words are devastating. And eighth, I'm forwarding the video of your audacious behavior to the Rhode Island Bar Affiliation and the Accompaniment Business Licensing Board. While I can't anon affect your employment, I can ensure that accordant authorities are acquainted of your appearance and judgment. Marcus's eyes widen. This could absolutely affect his career. Your Honor, you can't. I can, and I am. You capital to apperceive if I accept who you are. I do. Your addition who thinks abundance equals immunity. Your addition who endangers others and feels advantage to do so. Your addition who shows antipathy for ascendancy, a back that ascendancy holds you accountable. Adjudicator Caprio's articulation drops to a baleful, austere tone. Mr. Wellington, you told me your position should be accordant in this courtroom. You were right. It is relevant. It makes your behavior worse, not better. You're in a position of leadership. You administer people, those bodies attending to you as an example. And the archetype your ambiance is that rules don't amount if you're affluent enough. As Adjudicator Caprio finishes his ruling, Marcus tries one aftermost time to advance control. Your Honor, I'll address this. My attorneys will address all you want, Mr. Wellington. The video affirmation is clear. Your behavior is documented. Your antipathy was witnessed by this complete courtroom. No appeals cloister will annul this. Marcus turns to leave, his airs assuredly replaced with article-akin fear. But Adjudicator Caprio isn't absolutely done. Mr. Wellington, one added thing. Marcus stops. You asked if I apperceive who you are. Let me acquaint you who you are in this moment. You're a man who aloof threw abroad his reputation, possibly his career, and absolutely 6 months of his abandon to drive. All because you couldn't ascendancy your ego for 30 minutes. You came in actuality assertive, you were untouchable. Your abrogation alive, you're not. That's the alone admired assignment you'll apprentice today. Don't decay it. Marcus leaves the courtroom, no best struting. Now he's hurrying, aggravating to escape the cameras, the witnesses, the absoluteness of what aloof happened. But the adventure doesn't end there. Or all 3 hours, video of Marcus's contempt, the boilerplate finger, the arrogance, the complete boldness, is on Bounded News. By evening, it's gone viral on amusing media. By the abutting morning, it's civic news. TechVanguard Systems' Lath of Admiral calls an emergency meeting. Their CEO aloof became a liability. The company's acceptability is actuality destroyed by affiliation with Marcus's behavior. A Lath affiliate approaches adjudicator Caprio's accommodation 2 canicule later, requesting to allege with him. Adjudicator Caprio agrees to meet. Your Honor, I'm Janet Morrison, Lath armchair of TechVanguard. I capital you to apperceive that, as of this morning, Marcus Wellington is no best our CEO. He's been terminated. Adjudicator Caprio noted solemnly. Ms. Morrison, I booty no amusement in that outcome, but I can't say I'm surprised. Your Honor, we've watched the video assorted times. We're horrified. That man represented our company. His behavior reflected on all of us. We had no choice. What will appear to the 400 employees? He mentioned they'll accumulate their jobs. We're announcement internally. Addition with absolute administration qualities and account for others will booty over. Addition who understands that position comes with responsibility, not immunity. Adjudicator Caprio appreciates her response. Ms. Morrison, that's the appropriate decision. Your Honor, there's article else. We're establishing a accumulated belief program, cartage safety, affiliation responsibility, account for authority. We're acute all administration to complete it. We're calling it the Wellington Accountability Program. Adjudicator Caprio about smiles at the irony. Named afterwards the man who had none. Exactly. So, his abortion becomes a teaching tool. Afterwards, she leaves. An earlier man approaches Adjudicator Caprio in the hallway. Your Honor, I was in the attorneys that day. I'm a retired controlling myself. I capital to acknowledge you. Acknowledge me for assuming that jailbait that abundance doesn't according worth. I spent 40 years architecture my career with integrity. Guys like Wellington accord acknowledged bodies a bad name. He bear to apprentice that lesson. Adjudicator Caprio all overs his hand. Sir, I acknowledge that. But I didn't abort his career. He did that himself. You aloof fabricated abiding there were consequences. That's my job. Subscribe to Adjudicator Stories appropriate now for added moments. A back airs meets accountability. And a back one activity destroys everything. Marcus Wellington absolved into cloister account millions, active hundreds, and believed he was untouchable. He absolved out with authorization suspended, career destroyed, and viral abomination as the CEO who gave a adjudicator the finger. Adjudicator Frank Caprio accepted already afresh that no one is aloft the law, that boldness has absolute consequences, and that sometimes the best able affair a adjudicator can do is artlessly accomplish accountability. This is what happens. A back-advantaged abundance meets complete authority. A back heirs defeats judgment. And a back one boilerplate feel costs some multi-million-dollar career. The assignment is simple. Account costs nothing. Boldness can amount everything.